Hey there, and welcome back to the Skills Technical Training Guide for Graphic Design. Today we are talking about digital files and digital output. So this should be a real short video, but it's still very, very important that you know how to set up a file for digital output before you even get started on one. And what I mean by digital output could be designs for social media, for a website, for a kiosk, for any sort of a screen display. So it could be for an app or whatever. And it's very important you set up your files correctly based on the specs that are given for whatever that output might be. And I just looked up here really quickly. Let me see if I can open it up quick. Whoop, that's not it. Here. This is Instagram's resolution output, which is 72, and their post size, which is 1080 by 1080. Now you'll notice that it's a little bit different when you are outputting to screen. When you're printing something, when you're creating something that's going to be printed as a book or as a poster or whatever, usually you're going to have a measurement, let's say inches or picas or whatever you might be working in. Screen displays have the same sort of measurement system, but it's pixels. All right. And so in order to set up a file correctly right from the get-go, what you need to do is you need to pay attention to how the file is being set up before you start building it. So in order to do that, we're going to go to File, New. We are going to go to here where it has our measurement, and we are going to change it to pixels. It'll be the first in the list. Now we're going to have the option to set it to whatever resolution it's going to be. So in this case, 1080 by 1080. Let's say it was an Instagram post. We do not need the resolution that we worry about for print here. What we're going to do is 72, which is the default resolution of screen display. And it's also very important here that we make sure that our color mode is set to RGB. Okay, we don't want CMYK here because CMYK is for print only. So we're going to hit Create. That is going to set up a document that is exactly the correct size. If by accident you open it up and you see it says CMYK here, you can always go to Image, Mode, and change it to RGB up here. Okay, so that is the correct way to start your file with Photoshop. Now, how would you do that with Illustrator? Very, very similar process. We're going to go to Illustrator. We're going to make a new file. Same deal. We're going to set the points to pixels. You'll notice that even up in the tabs here that it's got stuff for web and mobile and that, so you could look in there. But generally, it's just safer to put the sizes in yourself if you know them. So 1080 by 1080. And how many artboards are you going to need? How many pages are you going to need? In this case, because it's Illustrator. And then here, color mode, RGB. Raster effect is going to be screen. You'll see screen is marked as 72. That's what you want. All right, then you're going to hit Create. That will set up your document correctly here. All right. Now, same issue. Let's say that you didn't have it set to RGB. Maybe you were taking it from some existing artwork that was built in CMYK. Under File, Document Color Mode, here's how you could switch that. All right. Now, like I said, if you are building for screen, it should be RGB. All right. One other thing to mention is that when you are building your colors and when you are bringing your files in from Photoshop or whatever, you should make sure that they are also in RGB. All right, your color palette should also be set to RGB. Everything should be RGB because it is going to end up on screen. And that's it. Real quick and easy explanation on how to set up a file for digital output.